Hi everyone, it's more Kim Possible time, and we are being Rufus again in a slightly more difficult Rufus section than the previous one. And this one is the beginning of a level, which is interesting. But yeah, this one's a tiny bit tougher, but you can also chew through these wires, which is fun. The animation for it is a little silly. And yeah, for those who don't know, it's customary in video games to make the levels difficulty increase as time goes on. Just a fun fact for all you non-gamers out there. People who aren't gaming experts like me. I've played at least a dozen video games in my life. But yeah, this is the beginning of a really goddamn long level. As you can see, there are 250 beepers, which is what I've decided that is what I'm calling them. There are 250 beepers in this level, and there are about 14 sections to it. And it is going to take both this video and the next one, and without spoiling anything, because I know all of you are gripped by the narrative of Kim Possible, What's the Switch? The ending of this level suggests to me that the next level after this is the last one. I don't know that for a fact, and I would kind of be surprised by that, because I thought that I have been taking this game relatively slowly so far, but it seems that way.
What I wouldn't give for earmuffs right now.
So yeah, here we are on the train. Every children's game from this era seems to have a train level, and I'm not complaining about it really. Don't know why I was fucking this up so much. The timing on the jumps is can be a little bit finicky. It does that thing. I had a similar problem in Wallace and Gromit where it would, when I was at the edge of a ledge, or of a jump, of a gap, that's what I was looking for. It would, I would drop rather than, it wouldn't register that I pressed the jump button, I would just jump down. And yeah, the tops of these things hurt you, which is a little annoying. And yeah, I didn't know that you can break this. In my defense, they don't really stand out as breakable barriers as much as the regular ones do. And also, I believe this is the first time that I ever thought to, well, maybe not right now, but I, at some point in this level, destroy one of those little gun machines, and I think it's right here, but I don't remember. I guess not. Although I think I die and have to do this section again, so it might have been during that. Yeah, didn't even ever think to do that. Didn't ever think that you could destroy those guns. I just assumed that they were obstacles, and I never really ventured to try to destroy them because I didn't want to risk getting hurt by them, so yeah, oh my god, I hate when Kim does that, where, and I hate when the game does that, where I, try to do the sick downward kick, and I end up just yeeting myself off the edge of a cliff. But yeah, I hate when, a few of your moves in a row don't work, and then Kim spends 10 seconds shrugging at the screen, and it allows the enemy to beat your goddamn ass. Not a big fan of that. Now that I'm kind of getting the hang of the game a little bit more as I play through it, At least in like a mechanical feeling-y way, you know? I'm not saying I have a bunch of skill, but as I get bombarded with explosives, there are some annoying things in it that, you know, you often find in games as far as like control sensitivity and timing and stuff like that. And then this, which I probably should have cut this down, but I decided to show the whole thing because, like, I'm doing what you do to do a wall jump, at least I thought, but I isn't wall jumping on that. And in a little bit, you'll see that I started second guessing myself here, thinking, like, is this not the way I'm supposed to go, even though that was, like, the whole point of this? And yeah, now I gotta do it again. Also, the whole, like, switching items on the PDA thing, there's never been a better example of me having fucking pudding brain, because that's such a, like, simplistic game mechanic, and yet I, like, have to stop and think for, like, a full minute every time I do it. I'm trying to see... Okay, now that I'm watching, I think the issue was, with the wall jump, was that I double jumped before the first wall jump, and I think for some reason if you double jump, like when you start a wall jump, it like doesn't work, but I feel like I've done that before, so I don't think that's right. Also, these lasers are instant kills, which somehow, even after being killed by them like 3 times, I somehow didn't realize until then. Probably because I always just assume that I'm low on health, because I'm like never looking at the corner of the screen. And so, yeah, I assume that it was low health and not an instant kill, but it is. So watch out. Watch out for bears. You'll notice my life count go down quite a bit in this level, even though I cut out several of the deaths. A mixture of the level being kinda tricky at times, and me being a Dumbo, resulted in making a lot of stupid mistakes and dying. Especially while trying to get back up there to get that badge, the monkey badge, or banana badge, or whatever you call it, at the top. Because I wanted it, but you have to not fall in the holes, and I did both times, and died, and then I didn't feel like doing it, so... Anyway, not much going on. I hope things are going well with everyone. This video is once again a little bit late. I explained in yesterday's LEGO Star Wars video that, once again, downward kick fucks me over. So yeah, I just said fuck it and carried on. I said in the last LEGO Star Wars video that I'm off schedule this week. You know, I'm one day off, and also putting things up a little bit later than I usually like to, because I have been my work schedule changes week to week, and just been having to stay later than in the previous couple of weeks, which is annoying, especially today, because I was there for a big chunk of the day and we weren't really even doing anything. So that was stupid, but what are you gonna do? But it was a really nice day today, which is nice. I hope that we're finally... Okay, yeah, no, never mind. I just did a double jump and managed to do a wall jump. I think the game was just being stupid. I am not going to take responsibility.
Thanks for the tip, Peapod. If I'd known we're going Arctic, I would have layered.
I've also noticed the intertitles that say "Meanwhile" all have Draken and Ron on them, and I don't know if once again I don't know if the like extra parts of the Ron and Draken story that you unlock, if those are like gameplay parts or if they're like just cutscenes. I want to say they're probably just cutscenes. I can't imagine that this game has like basically a whole nother game's worth of extra levels. I also feel like if you could play as Ron and or Draken in this game, I probably would have known that. Probably would have been advertised. It's not really like games like this, i.e. games for babies, that, you know, they, yeah, like I said, just have like a whole other game that you can unlock. But hey, I don't know. Who knows? It's a blind LP. I'm blind. I can't see nothing. Anyway, yeah, Shigo has like a magnet ability. No explanation for why you couldn't use this before, but you can now. And you use it to move boxes mostly, but you can also move enemies towards you, and then you give them a big punch. And it would be cool if it was a one-hit kill, but it just kind of stuns them for a minute and makes it a little bit easier to get at them, which is well appreciated. Very weird looking switch there. Not what I thought it was. I thought it was like a weird statue or something that I was just trying to break open for points. And here we have robot monkeys, which I enjoy robot monkeys. It is a combination of two things that I often enjoy seeing in fiction: robots and monkeys. I like seeing monkeys in real life as well. I'm kind of mixed feelings on robots IRL, but monkeys are pretty across the board good and nice. I mean, some of them like murder people. Probably not that many though, but I'm sure a monkey has killed a person, like a gorilla or something, which is not a monkey, it's an ape, but what are you gonna do? So I have no means of segueing into any of these thoughts that I prepared as possible things to talk about, because I knew that it would be kind of dead air with this one, because, I mean, you can only talk so much about robot monkeys, and I don't know, what am I supposed to, like, that's the thing, sometimes I'll get in my head with the LP stuff, even though, like, I enjoy how I do LPs, I enjoy doing them, and I think I would find them enjoyable to watch. That's why I make them, is because I like to make stuff that I would enjoy seeing. And, you know, I've always been a fan of Let's Plays that are a little bit more low-key, a little bit more personal, a little less structured. I don't really care all that much about, like, being very glossy or high production value. I don't really care about them being, you know, 2K, 60 FPS, whatever. But sometimes I'll get in my own head about, like, you know, does the way I do Let's Plays suck, or is it, like, destined to always only have, like, the number of viewers that I do now? Which, as I've talked about before, I'm not really all that concerned with viewership, but I do like the idea of, you know, I do want my viewer base of both my channels, really, but especially this channel, to grow past what they are now, to some level. And so I want to make sure that, or I want to know whether or not the way I do things is so, like, niche and alienating to most people who are looking for Let's Plays or walkthroughs or whatever. Somebody left a comment recently on one of my Lego Star Wars videos calling it a walkthrough and saying, like, these are great, you should do more walkthroughs. And I'm like, I'm glad you like the videos, but I'm kind of I don't know how helpful these are as walkthroughs. I don't really know if I would call them that, but some people call Let's Plays walkthroughs, and they don't actually mean like it's necessarily meant to be a guide through the game for people, but rather just like a playthrough, which is what I would call it, a playthrough or Let's Play, but whatever. So, but then I think about the fact that, like, for one thing, it's just what I want to do, and trying to do anything else would feel very fake and forced. It's, you know, like I said, very similar thing with my main channel, and just with most of my, you know, endeavors, creative endeavors, online stuff. Yeah, you get, like, positively monkeyfied in this level, and I'm not getting it so much right now, but a lot of these monkeys, when they fill the screen, will make your FPS go down by a little bit. So that's something that happens in this game. But yeah, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, say that I do try to stop, you know, going on 15-minute rants about culture and politics and the things that I enjoy talking about during these LPs. And I do try to stick just to talking about the gameplay, making moment-to-moment comments about what's going on in the gameplay, reacting to what's on screen, saying what I'm doing, and saying stuff about, like, how to play the game. I feel like it would get really boring really quickly, and I wouldn't really have all that much to say. I would be silent for most of it, and I don't think I'm good enough at most games for just the gameplay itself to, like, be on its own as, like, you know, here's a playthrough of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think it would come off very forced, and it would be really boring if I were just spending every moment. Like, what am I supposed to say during this whole level? Like, and you jump on the platforms, and you fight the enemies. I'm doing that right now in every video. Like, I don't know. I personally, you know, I don't know. Hot take, I think my own videos are good. But yeah, sometimes I'll get a little bit self-conscious about it, but it usually doesn't last long, because eventually I just get down to the thought of, like, okay, well, am I gonna do anything about that? Am I gonna change the way that I do things, and what would that look like? And if I think about it for more than, like, 2 seconds, I'm like, oh no, actually, I'm fine with doing this. That downward kick move is really unreliable, or maybe I'm just not very good at the game. Probably both. Anyway, I was gonna say, I don't really have a good way of segueing into any of these thoughts that I wrote down. Speaking of talking about random bullshit instead of the game. But I noticed, I forget what movie it was that like, the Blu-ray cover was revealed recently, and that spurned this, or am I thinking spurred? I guess spawned would also work, just kind of weird. But it prompted this thought, which is that, why do all, like, DVD and Blu-ray covers of the last, I'll say definitely the last 5 years, but even a little bit longer than that, why do they all suck and look like shit? Even when the movies have pretty good theatrical posters, there are so many, especially, like, you know, Oscar contender or, you know, like, non-genre movies, where just composition-wise and, like, in terms of choice of images and placement of images and text and whatnot, it just looks really bad, and I don't know why. And they're, like, really random and almost look like they're, like, generated by an algorithm. Like, there's no thought put behind them. And I don't know why that is, but I think it may have something to do with title cards on streaming services, which very often also look stupid and include really, like, dumb images from things. I don't know if that is a common opinion of them, but that's how I've always felt about it. I don't know why it is like that. The other, but yeah, that was just from something I saw on Twitter. The other fun thing I saw on Twitter today while I was doing nothing at work and basically just sitting and depleting my phone battery while we did nothing was the guy on TikTok with that sick bedroom setup. I don't really have time left in the video to talk about what that is, so fuck.